Okay, perfect. All right, here we go. Hello, friends of the Northern Entertainment, and welcome to another episode of DOJ. Yeah, I know it's been a while, and we are back here with the dodo behind me. You might wonder, what the heck is he doing with the dodo now? Well, you guys might remember that I took the other dodo, and I had this little bit of a, well, shall we say, unplanned landing in the middle of the ocean, and got rescued by the Rangers in the end. And we've seen one ranger there, the sergeant, the commanding officer of the Rangers, which is Sergeant Nick. And we are waiting today for Sergeant Nick to arrive here on the airfield. Or, well, I guess for most of you guys it's a helipad, but it's also an waterplane airport. So yeah, we're just waiting here for Nick to arrive, and once he's here, I think that's him back there, running through all the barriers. But yeah, once he's here, we're gonna take him out and do what we initially set out to do. Just this time, we're not going up there, he's coming to us. We're gonna be doing a little bit of flying around, showing him the capabilities of the dodo, and well, go from there. So enjoy, guys. Sergeant!
How's it
Good
going?
to see you. Good to see you.
Glad to see you too. Glad you're not in the water this time.
I was about to say, it's better this time to see you than last time, but yeah, let's not talk about that. I rather forget that little episode. So, I know you got this plane here, and we still don't have the new registration on it, but I do know we have a special registration for this flight. Which is, correct me if I'm wrong, November 316 Whiskey Romeo.
That is correct.
That is correct. Perfect. Well, before we get going, I'm gonna do the safety briefing with you really quick.
Excellent.
This is the dodo. It's a,
Oh,
as you can see, it's an amphibious plane. It's not only a water plane, it is amphibious because it can go on land as well as water. That's why we have tires, but that's less interesting for you. The interesting part for you is it has 4 exits located on this side, here, and on the other side just as well. We have one prop. The prop is the really dangerous end of the plane. So whenever the plane or whenever the engine is running, stay pretty much on, yeah, if you stay here, you are safe. Do not go further than this. If in the unlikely event that we have to make a landing where we shouldn't be landing, we have a little emergency or something like that, we have emergency kits in the back here behind the last seat. There is also a first aid kit, as well as there are 2 emergency beacons on this. One is in the emergency kit, and another one is in the front of the plane, which will be activated, and you can see that there is a red switch that is guarded with wire. So in case I get knocked out or whatnot, which we don't hope, but you have to activate the emergency switch, then just flip that cover up, and the wire will break, and will then activate the emergency switch, well, which we hope that the Rangers find us or whoever else is coming. That said, usually when something happens, we have enough provisions on board to make this a little camping trip then. I'm not too concerned. Other than that, keep the hands and feet away from the controls. I have only controls on my side anyway, but there is a second set of rudder pedals, so keep your feet away from those. And we should be good. Yeah, do you know how to use the seat belts? It's the same as with every aircraft. Actually, on those little ones, it's not like an airliner. It's more like you would find in your vehicle. 3-point seat belt. So yeah, let's get going, I guess. So yeah, just climb in, and then there is a headset for you.
Okey-dokey. Alright. Put that on. Good.
Click. All right, so test 1, 2, 3.
Testing.
Ah, there you go. Perfect. So that's working as well.
Yep.
Yeah, you got the seat belt there. Seat is adjustable, pretty much like a car seat almost. So you can do whatever feels comfortable.
It's good.
Perfect. So I had a quick look at what you guys were looking at, but once we're in the air, just refresh my memory what exactly you're looking to do with the plane, and I'm going to show you what she's capable of, if it's what you want, and then we're going to worry about making a deal and getting the papers all set up and whatnot. I don't know if I'm going to do that with you or with your chief anyway, so...
Okay.
But we'll just go from there.
Yep.
Let me just taxi out, and while I'm taxiing out, pretty much while we taxi out and... or while we start and land, or depart and land, it's always good to keep the chatter to a minimum. Other than that, you are free to engage in conversation anytime, except for when I raise my finger. That's when I have to listen to air traffic control, although we're going to be mostly on Unicom, so that's probably not going to be a problem. But
Okay.
yeah,
Sounds good.
just so you know. Just going through the motions.
Okay.
Speaking of motions, flight controls are free and clear. Master switch on, avionics on. Well, ready or not, here we go. Yeah, starting from here is always sketchy.
Yeah. Beautiful sunset.
Because,
Yeah.
yes, it is. Which reminds me. I'm probably gonna end up flying to Grapeseed, and I'm gonna take a hotel there, and then we'll do this in daylight.
Okay.
Do not want to go within a 2-mile zone of Zancudo, because that would end our trip rather quickly. The nice thing is flying over open waters, you really don't have a minimum height that you have to adhere to. Just be high enough so you can clear. Yeah, just be high enough so you can clear ships and sails. So are you gonna be flying, or how is that gonna be? Are you guys gonna be chartering pilots?
No, so there's going to be a small group of rangers that have been part of the program from the beginning, and they're going to be required to go through the program to become licensed pilots through the SAFA, and then those will be the only people that can fly the plane.
Oh, okay.
Yep. Most departments have their own training programs and such for the helicopters, but we want to. This is a plane. It's a larger, more complicated. Well, a helicopter's pretty complicated, but we need the training to properly handle it and know how to land it on the water and stuff. And I don't want to put the liability on us when it comes to that. So I'd rather have the professionals ensure we know how to do it.
Yeah, most definitely. Well, I mean, honestly, helicopter is a lot harder to fly than a plane, because the helicopter you have you have your hands full to keep that thing in the air. A plane by nature wants to fly. A helicopter by nature wants to kill you. So tempted to go underneath the bridge, but I will not, since it's night.
You said you're going in the Grapeseed?
No, Sandy. I'm gonna land in Sandy for tonight, and then tomorrow we can see, because you guys gonna be stationed out of Grapeseed, right?
Yep. Oh man, look at any shores all lit up down there.
Yeah, beautiful.
Do you need a sectional or anything pulled up? Or a section chart?
Nope, I got my section charts. Just making one flyover to see if the runway is clear, since this is an uncontrolled airport, and then we're just gonna go here now from the downwind. We're gonna go crosswind, and then from upwind, crosswind, downwind, base final.
really glide.
Yeah, that's the only way you bring those things down. You have to turn the engine off and have to glide them. It's a special thing in the state of Los Santos.
Well, I can call us a taxi and have them come over and pick us up and take us over to the motel. And then we can come back tomorrow morning.
That is a splendid idea. I'm gonna park her here in the hangar and gonna pay the extra fees, but make sure that it's still a plane tomorrow morning and not something different, because I heard stories about Sandy Shores.
I wouldn't know what you mean.
All right.
Looks good.
So we will reconvene here tomorrow morning.
What time? Alright.
Here we go.
Check, check.
And
There we go. I cannot believe that. I can absolutely not believe that.
Oh, well. Well, it's a beautiful morning for flying. We got winds out of what is that? Southwest?
Yeah, west. So it's gonna be a runway 26 right.
Looks more southerly up there on the windsock.
Oh yeah, it does so. Must have shifted. Well, I guess we're gonna use runway 08 left then.
Alright. And now it's back out of the west and more northwest. Oh my god, what is going on? There's just some pressure setting over us.
Yeah. Well, I guess 26 right is not an option. Well, yeah, 08 left. Little bit of a crosswind, but that's okay. I mean, in all reality, we could even use whatever the... Oh no, wait a second, the cross one is not active. Never mind. Nobody there that can make it daylight, eh?
Did you call in on Unicom?
Mm-hmm. Sandy traffic November 316, Whiskey Romeo, departure 07 left, straight out east. Sandy traffic. So, well, what do you want to see? What do you want to do?
Well,
because you got this thing chartered the
we
whole
got
day.
a few options that we're looking into. So you have the capability of a water landing, and then we also want to fly along the coastlines and over some woods to test how well it works for spotting animals and people.
Okay, so what do you want to start? You tell me, and I'll
Well,
fly
we're right
there.
over the Alamo Sea, so if you want to try the water landing now, or unless you want to try that on the ocean, which isn't too far away from us.
Yeah, no, because ocean, big waves, that usually doesn't end. Well, I mean, no, I shouldn't say it doesn't end well, because it does, but it's not as nice as landing on a lake. So we're gonna do exactly that. Now, since there is no seaport, or no water airport here, or sea airport, we can just go down wherever. The only thing that you have to keep in mind is if you see, what I usually do is I fly over and then I look for any...
No. Okay, so you were saying...
I was saying that I fly once over the lake that I'm or over the body of water that I want to land, and make sure that there's no boats or anything that can really hurt us.
Yeah, looks pretty clear today, actually. Clearer than normal.
Yeah. And yeah, and it's super calm, so the winds are calm, so we can see on the trees. So we can just bring her down slowly and put her into the water.
Perfect.
Just like that. Now, there are a couple of things that you have to keep in mind with seaplanes, but or with water planes, but for the most part, it's not different. In the water, it's not much different than a boat, and in the air, it's not much different than a plane. So you could even, I mean, I don't necessarily recommend it, but you could even land if you have some emergency in the water, and you have more than one person on board. You could even land and then go fairly close to whatever the emergency is, and then depart in the water. But I guess a helicopter would be ideal for that.
Yeah.
Yeah, other than that, when you taxi, just make sure that you kind of ride with the waves rather than perpendicular to them, because that just makes for, well, with this plane not even so much, but the smaller ones, they tend to tip over if there's too much of a wave coming.
It's much wavier than it looked from up there.
Yeah, it is quite a bit more, but it's nothing that concerns me really. I've seen worse.
Yeah, I know.
And I landed in worse. Yeah, and you probably remember that too. So let's get going again.
Alright.
Only thing is, in the water, you want to keep the stick back as soon as possible, just so that the floats don't dip into the water and you end up like a dart going down or like a submarine more. So I would say we just follow here, we follow the road to the east, in between the mountains, and we can fly over the mountains.
Near the lighthouse. That's going to be the Mount Gorda lighthouse. And then you want to head north or south?
It's up to you.
What airport do we plan on finishing off at down in Los Santos?
No.
Yeah, okay.
Well, I want to at least, I mean, since your truck is still at the heliport, we're probably gonna go back there. But you said that you guys are gonna be based out of Grapeseed, and I just want to check that out.
Well, let's just fly along the coastline here and see how well it is, and then we can turn around whenever we need to. So, one of the first search and rescue calls we've had here in the wildlife program was the mountain over there to your left. It's part of the Sanchiansky mountain range. Somebody was hiking and they passed out because of dehydration or something like that. And we ended up finding them thanks to some helicopter support from Los Santos Police Department. But I think this would do excellent. I can see very clearly down there. And then there's the quarry.
Yeah, the nice thing about those planes is they are fairly slow. I mean, we're going right now 90, 93, 96, well, indicated, so.
Yeah, I'm getting about 70 knots. Yeah, so one of the tools we're going to utilize is we have a handheld thermal imaging camera, kind of like what you would see the fire department use or whatever, where we can easily direct it in the direction we need without having stuff mounted on. So right now I'm looking around and I can see the animals down below us. I can see people walking around down at the it's at the main labs, yeah.
Yeah.
We have some daylight left, so do you want to go up towards Paleto Bay? maybe over the highway, and then flip around and come back down the river. And then we'll be back towards the Alamo Sea, and then we could call it then, depending on how long it takes.
Oh, absolutely.
So one really nice usage for this would be, a lot of times people that are lost will, if they know there's a body of water nearby, they'll make their way down to the beach. And if you can tell from below us, there's very minimal roadways. There's a small trail, which I think that's the trail you and I rode our bikes on. But there's some areas that are very jagged where even a bike would have a hard time going to. And if the situation called for it, saying the person was severely injured, where a boat would take too long to get out there or whatever, we can always plop this down and have one of the units within it go up to the shore and coordinate how we're going to get them out. But there's some areas where this would go.
Oh yeah, most definitely.
This would also be very nice for flying over the open water, because we do maritime law enforcement too up here in Blaine County, so we can spot boats, and if we notice they're reckless or there's something wrong, we can call that into our boat units.
Yeah, I guess there's limitless, really, uses for a plane like this. I mean, it's fairly cheap in operating costs too, compared to other options.
Yeah, it's got. I'm sure the fuel helicopters use are very similar, if not the same, to this. But I feel that this can go much further than a helicopter.
Oh yeah, a plane like this has about a tenth of the operating cost per hour than a helicopter.
That's what we're trying to save the taxpayers some money, because most people up here in Blaine County don't have as much money as the people you have down in Los Santos. So we don't want to take any more money from taxes to operate a helicopter when we can have this plane, which serves a multitude of purposes. Like helicopters, you would have to send somebody down on or they would have to rappel down to the water to get anybody. Where with this, we can literally land and shut off the engine until we're ready to take back off.
Oh yeah, most definitely. Most definitely.
And also, just for the people that get to fly it, the view is phenomenal. That's worth the purchase right there.
Yeah. Yeah, I hear you on that one. It's one of the most amazing things of flying is the views that you see.
That's why Bob Ross over there wanted to go up in the airplane.
Yeah, exactly. Good old Bob.
You gonna go under the bridge over here? I know you've been wanting to.
Yeah, well, I guess.
Oh,
if you don't tell, I won't tell. We just say I show you the capabilities of this airplane in close
I don't know
quarters.
if I would. Can you land one of these on the river? I'm sure for an emergency you could, but it's pretty. You got a lot of moving water right there.
Yeah, you could, but that is a rather interesting proposition that I wouldn't try right now. Yeah, on this piece here, on this straightaway, you could definitely.
I think compared to a helicopter right there, you really it navigates much more smoothly through those narrow passages, like the canyon there, compared to the helicopter. I don't know if that's just me, but it seems much more where you can just look out the window instead of trying to balance yourself and deal with the crosswinds that are coming through the valley. And
well, I mean, with the helicopter, you definitely have a you have the advantage that you can literally just plop down anywhere because you can hover, but I guess it really depends also on the pilot. So we're coming now here up to Grapeseed. You said that's the airfield that you're going to operate out of, right?
More secluded. There's less air traffic on it, and the hangar's normally open. What runway is this? Is this 25 or?
Yeah.
Lots of overhead wires you gotta watch out for.
Yeah, once again, I'm just making one
you want to
pass.
Make sure there's nothing done on the runway.
Yeah,
looks clear to me.
Number 316, Whiskey Romeo, go on base to final, Grapeseed airfield.
Oh boy. Maybe not. Kind of difficult. You got lots of obstacles around here. You got the mounds, you got the overhead wires, you have there's a giant pole next to the building that seemed to be in the way.
Yeah, that approach is not for the faint of heart, for sure.
Perfect.
Yeah. So, well, that's that.
That's much more of a pain in the butt to try and get this flight done, but I'm glad we finally did, and we can take these notes up to our command and try and get this implemented and get in contact with you and get it purchased. But I'm glad we overcame those obstacles where, man, we just had every problem possible.
Yeah, and there were many. Very true. Well, I'm gonna bring you back to your truck now. We're gonna go back to the heliport, and then yeah, I look forward to hearing from you.